Teasy on Twitter and Instagram, or just simply just Shantae Berry. So I'm here with, the Daily Spiel, aka my analysis, hashtag Shantae's analysis. You can find me on YouTube. My first name is Shantae Berry. That's what my name is on YouTube. On Instagram and Twitter, I am Shanteezy. That's what it is. So I'm here with some coronavirus numbers first. I'm just going to tell you the global. Hey, Liz. I'm going to tell you the global numbers, and the state numbers today because I had some schoolwork to do. I have a lot of reading to do, and my eyes are like doing the dance, like literally doing the dance. So, yeah. So I'm going to put this in COVID-19 map, John Hopkins, or no, it's in my bookmarks. So let's just do this like this. Here we go. So, globally, and I'm saying global numbers, we are at 31,480,193 cases in 187 countries. The global death toll is at 968,683. That is on the global stage. Here at home, we are at 6,895,549 cases of COVID-19. And yes, the death toll, it made world news. It made news. If you get the news alerts on the Washington Post, the NPR, wherever your news is, we are at 200,000 deaths. So it's not 200 even. It's a little over 200. So it's 200,768. It's confirmed. I said it. I called it before. We were going to surpass 200,000 before the end of the month of September. I was right about it. I don't know if you guys predicted it, but I predicted it. Damn it. So that's where we are. All right. Now I'm going to get to the actual state numbers because there's some state numbers I want to address because even though I do world numbers, but like I said, I didn't have time and I was reading, I was doing my work, so schoolwork does come first. So yeah. I know, Elizabeth, it's sad. It's very sad. So here are the numbers for the states according to the New York Times COVID map. California has 794,783, followed by Texas is at 748,829. Florida has 687,901. New York State, which was the epicenter of all of this, is now at 455,938. Georgia is at 290,930. Illinois is at 280,498. Illinois. Arizona is at 214,846. New Jersey, I said 209 yesterday. I botched up that number. I do apologize. New Jersey is at 202,371. North Carolina is at 196,241. And Tennessee rounds up that top 10 with 182,546. And yes, folks, we have no plan to combat this thing. But it seems like the Trump administration seems like they don't give two shits about what's going on with the coronavirus. So I'll just pull this up. Because Kayleigh McEnany held a press briefing today, and she said these things as Jim Acosta asked her, what do you say to Americans who blame this administration for the 200,000 COVID deaths?
Kayleigh, as you know, the country has hit 200,000 deaths from the coronavirus. What do you say to Americans who are outraged over this and blame this administration for so many lives lost in this country?
Well, as you've heard several doctors in the task force note from this podium, we are looking at the prospect of 2 million people potentially perishing from the coronavirus in this country. We grieve when even one life is lost, but the fact that we have that we have come nowhere near that number is a testament to this president taking immediate action, to shutting down travel from China when the other party, Democrats, were saying that was xenophobic, for shutting down travel for Europe, for developing landmark therapeutics that are working like remdesivir.
Let's hear this again.
The country and blame.
Heard several doctors in the task force note from this podium. We are looking at the prospect of 2 million people potentially perishing from.
So you can find that clip, find the press briefing on YouTube. The fact is that she's nonchalant about it. Yeah, the scientist was, looking at, or the doctors looking at, 2 million deaths. Like, exactly, Elizabeth. What the fuck? I lost people that I knew to this virus, as I said time and time again. I know people that had this virus and suffering from the symptoms, the post symptoms of this virus. A young man today died from this COVID, died from symptoms of COVID, and he had a clean bill of health 10 days prior. It started off with his roommate having a cough, and then he got sick. And his mother is still grieving. And of course, I got to pull the clip that Donald Trump, what he said, because if you think this chick is deplorable, woo, child, woo. Because he said this bullshit. I got to find the clip where he said this shit. Because this shit was astonishing. Where he virtually said this shit. Where's that goddamn clip at? There we go. I was looking for that shit.
We didn't know it. Now we know it. It's the disease. We didn't know it. Now we know it. It affects elderly people with heart problems and other problems. If they have other problems, that's what it really affects. That's it. In some states, thousands of people, nobody young, below the age of 18, like nobody. They have a strong immune system. Who knows? You take your hat off to the young because they have a hell of an immune system. But it affects virtually nobody. It's an amazing thing. By the way, open your schools. Everybody open your schools.
Virtually no one? So if it affects virtually no one, why 200,000 people are dead? Why certain states are still partially opening, like mine? My city is only open by 50%, and even the schools, only 90,000 kids get to go. Like, huh? What? Literally no idea what the fuck he's talking about. None. Nada. Zip. And it's only 42 days until the election. Can it come any sooner? There's early voting starting in certain states. My state starts early voting in October. Possibly will be doing early voting because I'm damn sure ain't sending my ballot in the post office. I don't trust the post office after the shady shit that happened this past summer. Nah, B. I will take my little ass to vote. Okay? But yeah, this administration is full of shit. This administration is deadly to the country and life preservation. And I'm sorry to take it there, but it's the truth. Call it for what it is. That's why we gotta vote. We gotta vote, people. Make sure we get Biden and Harris in there. Harris was my choice for president, but you know what happened. But I'm glad she's the vice president. And I can't wait for the debates next week. The debates are Tuesday, and you make your decision. All I know is Trump don't know how to debate. And it's not like it's a Hillary situation. This is Biden. This is the former vice president of the United States. And trust me, he is going to slaughter his ass. Big time. But anyway, the GOP, another basket case. So, Mitt Romney, for those who know, Mitt Romney is going to vote to confirm the next Supreme Court justice. That's Trump's nominee. So let me just pull up his statement. Lord have mercy. I'm going to read it. Oh, hypocrite ass motherfuckers. My decision regarding a Supreme Court nomination is the result of a subjective test of fairness, which, like beauty, is in the eye of the beholder. It is based on the immutable fairness of the following of the law, which is the case of the Constitution and precedent. The historical precedent of election year nomination is that the Senate generally does not confirm an opposing party's nominee, but does not confirm a nominee of its own. The Constitution gives the president the power to nominate and the Senate the authority to provide advice and consent on the Supreme Court nominees. Accordingly, I intend to follow the Constitution, and the president is considering the president's nominee. If the nominee reaches the Senate floor, I intend to vote based upon their qualifications. Signed, Mitt Romney. Am I shocked about him voting to confirm? Nope. Everybody else on Twitter was. Not me. No. I particularly said in my video, for those who follow me, I do not trust Mitt Romney. I don't trust his ass at all. Not one. And he did have breakfast or lunch or dinner with Trump, so I don't forget that. I don't forget that at all. Full of shit. So much full of shit. It is crazy. Like, insane. Not one. And he did have breakfast or lunch or dinner with Trump, so I don't. Not at all. But I wish people would stop putting their stock into these fucking Republicans, because they're not going to do the right thing. Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski, I really don't trust them neither, because they all voted to acquit the president. Yes, Mitt Romney voted for one article of impeachment, but he did not vote for the other. So like I said, do I trust him? Absolutely not. So once again, I wish people would stop putting their stock into these goddamn Republicans like they're going to save democracy, because all they want to do is pack the judges so they can pass a conservative agenda, because that's what they all got left, because they all know they're in trouble. Most of them are going to lose their seat. Cory Gardner just gave John Hickenlooper his seat. Tom Tillis has given, I think, Cal Cunningham his seat. Susan Collins is possibly going to give her seat to the woman that's running against her in Maine. And the same for McSally, going to give it to Captain Kelly. So, I'm not surprised. I wish people would stop putting their stock in them. Because Mitch McConnell, people saying he's a gangster. He ain't no gangster. Mitch McConnell's a little bitch. That's what he is. And that's what bitch-ass motherfuckers do. They make one rule so they could stop one person, but bend on their own rule when their party's in trouble. And that's what Mitch McConnell is. Mitch McConnell's a little bitch. But there's an article that came out, his true motivations of the Supreme Court, and they have it in NBC News. There is only one principle that works as Republicans get ready to the Supreme Court nomination. It's power. Mitch McConnell's power hungry. Everybody knows that. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, Republican of Kentucky, made that clear that he amended the logic he used in 2016 to justify ignoring the appointment of Merrick Garland, who was President Obama's last pick for the Supreme Court, because President Obama was about to they didn't want that black man to put 3 people on the court. Okay? Back then, Mitch McConnell, the Senate shouldn't vote on the Supreme Court just in an election year. The American people should have the voice. Remember that clip? Therefore, his vacancy should not be filled until there is a new president. Now he says that, and that only applies when the president from a different party, the Senate Majority Leader, has. My senator said, it's blank hypocrisy. That's what Kristen Gillibrand said on MSNBC. Mitch McConnell said, let the people decide. He's absolutely full of it. I'm going to say it because she can't say it. He's full of shit. Like I said, he a bitch. That's what he is. It may be more that Mitch McConnell's true motivations have been revealed. In reality, the confirmation of a new justice to succeed the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg, which they ain't even let her be in the graveyard yet, is not about the limited history and president he recites. It is not about the sanctity of his institution. It's about concepts of constituency and fairness. Mitch McConnell is exercising a raw political power for the purpose of acquiring and maintaining more power. Conservatives want more power on the courts because they will rule on their fucking horrible ass agenda. Like if America is still stuck in the 1950s and 60s. This country has changed dramatically within the last 50 to 60 years. There's more interracial relationships, including dating, domestic partnership, marriage. Black people is actually getting some stock in things, and because of racial reckoning, it's going to get either further. Like, these Republicans in the Senate today, these ultra-conservatives, are living in the past. But guess what, though? It's a new day. It's a new dawn. And what they do will have repercussions on their Senate career and the party. I don't even know if the Republican Party will recover. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But they probably can recover. Anywho. I'm going to get into something else. Let's get into Sydney McCain, who today on Twitter said this. Because she was trending all evening. Here she goes. My husband John lived by a code, country first. We are Republicans, yes, but Americans foremost. There's only one candidate in this race who stands up for our values as a nation, and that is Joe Biden. It's Sydney McCain, who definitely don't like Trump because he disrespected her husband, dead, alive and dead now, who is resting in peace, continuously disrespects him. I would vote for the opposing, his opponent too. So my thing is, what's up with Meghan? Clearly, she has more smoke for Democrats than the guy in the same party she's in who disrespected her father and still disrespects her father time and time again, calling his ass he ain't no war hero. If somebody disrespects my father, no matter what position they are, I'm coming for that ass every day. If I got a television platform, I'm dragging that motherfucking ass up and down where his behind will be bleeding. Okay? Like, I don't get it. Like, her mother has more balls than her. And if you're such a daddy's little girl, why do you keep defending this administration? Because you got people, you work for them, like your family members and friends. Fuck that shit. I will drag that motherfucker every day if I have to. Every motherfucking day. You're not going to sit there and disrespect my father, dead or alive. It doesn't matter. I wish you would. I wish a bitch would. But like I told Meghan, girl, you need to be like your mother and cut the bullshit. Like, get it together. Get it together. But as before I end this, I want to address this thing that I saw on Twitter about these people. Where is it? So the CEO of Wells Fargo's, there was an article, he said this. While it might sound like an excuse, the unfortunate reality is that there is a very limited pool of black talent to recruit from. What? Okay. Before I had to process that, I responded and with my degree. Let me just say this. I am a 34-year-old African-American woman from New York City, preferably Manhattan. My neighborhood in Manhattan, I'm from Harlem. I was born during the crack era. I grew up in a working middle-class family. We may have had a good life, but it was very hard to get into my career, especially the career I wanted to get into was accounting. But it was a recession in 2008. I had a very hard time finding a job. Of course, I went the nonprofit route, and that took for a little while. Still, it's motherfuckers like that. It's the reason why it's hard for black women like me to get into the workforce because of motherfuckers like that. And I went for a lot of interviews, and I could have got all these interviews. Sometimes it may be the person, sometimes it may be me. When I used to think it was always me, it was just never always me. It was systemic racism. Like, we got a systemic racism problem, and Donald Trump think we don't have it, but we do. We do. That's why this racial reckoning is going on, and it's going to continue. This is why one of the reasons why we should vote and stay vigilant. So when I hear people talk this shit, I get upset. But as I end this, because I don't want to go on like I did yesterday, vote, 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 vote. Vote like your life depends on it. Because we're facing so much stuff going on. We got a global pandemic that's affecting the whole world, resulting into a financial recession. We have climate change, which is an existential threat to our planet. And Donald Trump doesn't care about it. We have racial reckoning with systemic racism. I just mentioned that. And this is only phase one of it. And now we got a constitutional crisis after the death of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So if I was you guys, I would do my research. You could go to JoeBiden.com, do your research, but please vote, vote, vote like your life depends on it. And that's all I'm saying. Until then, you folks, have a good night.